programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Humans around the world have been awakened to the devastating effects of a viral pandemic in this year 2020. It is time for the deadly pandemic spreading industry to close forever. The meatpacking slaughterhouses of the world. COVID-19 and meat processing plants, deadly for humans and animals. Continue watching to find out more.
Tasharafna means nice to meet you in Arabic, the official language spoken in Mauritania. I am Mamadou. The people of Mauritania are grateful to know that the consciousness of all beings on earth is being uplifted, and that soon we will live harmoniously in a peaceful vegan world.
Warning: you might find the content herein disturbing, but the truth must be revealed.
Welcome, concerned viewers, to today's important, informative, and urgent program, COVID-19 and meat processing plants, deadly for humans and animals. What exactly is a meat processing plant? They are fenced-off, massive multi-story windowless buildings in which as many as 10 million animals a year are killed, dismembered, cut into saleable pieces of meat, or ground into hamburger mince, meat meal, or meat pastes, and then packaged for distribution. They were formerly called slaughterhouses or abattoirs, but have since been renamed meat processing plants, perhaps in an effort to make them less repulsive to the public's ears and eyes. But we should have no doubt at all, these factories are horrific and torturous to both the animals and the humans who work there. Slaughterhouse workers have the highest rates of sickness, injury, turnover, and suicide of all the industries in first world countries. Beyond that, the waste products they release are massively destructive to the environment, wild fauna, waterways, and oceans. They are a macabre theater for destruction, and this morbid show needs to be stopped as quickly as possible. During this current coronavirus pandemic, the slaughterhouse horror story is being magnified as numerous meat processing plants have become hotspots for human transmission of the COVID-19 virus. COVID-19 outbreaks in slaughterhouses in the USA have been particularly widespread. At the Tyson Meatpacking Plant in Storm Lake, Iowa, USA, 591 of the company's 2,300 employees tested positive, and 75% of those infected showed no outer symptoms. As a result, the virus spread rampantly throughout the plant and surrounding suburbs, with 1 out of every 12 citizens in Storm Lake becoming infected with the virus. Similarly, at the Smithfield Farms meat processing plant in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 644 of its 3,700 employees tested positive for the virus, quickly transferring from the workplace to the surrounding community. It is estimated that more than half of the cases of COVID-19 in the entire state of South Dakota could be traced back to this plant as the origin. From Mississippi to Washington, Texas to Nebraska, one state after another reported outbreaks of the COVID-19 virus at the sites of their meat processing plants. By the end of April 2020, the Centers for Disease Control (CDC) reported that there were 115 meat or poultry processing facilities in the USA reporting COVID-19 cases. And as of June 23, 2020, a total of 27,800 slaughterhouse workers in the USA had tested positive for COVID-19, and 99 had died from the virus. Meanwhile, across the border in Canada, similar outbreaks were experienced. at a Cargill beef processing plant in Alberta, Canada, 949 of its 2,000 employees were infected, and 2 people died. According to Canadian health authorities, the outbreak at the Cargill slaughterhouse was the largest single facility COVID-19 infection in the country. Neither have they been spared across the ocean in Europe. In late June 2020, an outbreak was discovered at the Tönnies meat processing plant in North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany, where 1,500 employees tested positive, and all 6,500 workers were placed on quarantine. To date, compared to other industries, there have also been significantly higher levels of outbreaks at slaughterhouses in many other countries, including Brazil, Australia, Ireland, Spain, France, and the United Kingdom. Why is the virus so prevalent at meat processing plants? Many experts have cited the stressful, dangerous working conditions in which employees stand shoulder to shoulder for long hours on the meat assembly line, in highly air-conditioned rooms laden with bacteria, and floors swirling in fecal matter and blood. This creates a highly volatile environment where disease can quickly spread. Added to this is the psychological and emotional stress of the constant killing, and the sounds and smells of death, all of which powerfully depress and inhibit the immune systems of the workers, which is exactly what the virus needs for infection and transmission. With rampant outbreaks at meat processing plants, some experts have suggested that meat may also be a physical vector for the virus to transfer from one human carrier to another. Combined with the terrible conditions described earlier that are ideal for viral transfer, these plants become the perfect storm for propagation. What we need to be fully aware of, however, is that these plants are only at one end of the meat for food production line. It is estimated that 99% of all animals raised for slaughter in countries like the United States of America are bred and kept in confined animal feeding operations, or CAFOs. In these CAFOs, hundreds of thousands, and in some cases, even millions of animals are kept alive indoors for one sole purpose: to die for human food consumption. Dr. Michael Greger is an internationally recognized medical expert on nutrition and infectious diseases, especially those of a zoonotic or animal-based origin. He foretold of such a pandemic in his 2006 book, Bird Flu, a virus of our own hatching. If you want to create catastrophic pandemics, then build factory farms. If you crowd tens of thousands of chronically stressed animals into cramped football field-sized sheds to lie beak to beak or snout to snout on top of their own waste, it's a breeding ground for disease. COVID-19 is only one of many pandemic zoonotic pathogens. Here are some of the other well-known viruses that have spread from animals.
Fatal epidemics, pandemics originally transmitted by eating animals. HIV, AIDS, transmitted by chimpanzees. Variant Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, or mad cow disease, transmitted by cows. H5N1 avian or bird flu, transmitted by chickens, geese. SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, transmitted by civets. H1N1 swine flu or pig's disease, transmitted by pigs. MERS, Middle East respiratory syndrome, transmitted by camels. Ebola, transmitted by bats. COVID-19, transmitted from bats to pangolins. All these diseases are transmitted from animals to humans.
Dr. Milton Mills, a critical care physician and National Advisory Board member for the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, or PCRM, stated the following in a June 2020 press conference.
To my knowledge, the actual meat itself has not been ruled out as a possible vector, because I don't think these companies are testing their products. And given the high rate of positivity amongst the workers in these plants, it is at least theoretically possible that the meat itself is being contaminated, and then that is coming back to affect the workers themselves. But beyond that, there's a risk that this could be also transmitted to the public at large.
Whether the meat itself was a medium of transfer or the workers spread it through their meat products, equipment, and bacterial-rich working conditions remains to be discovered. One thing is for certain, these situations must stop, and stop quickly. By heaven's grace and the noble sacrifice of many dedicated medical staff around the world, the fatality rate of the current SARS COVID-19 virus has been kept below 1%, even though it has high transmissibility. However, a quote by UK Daily Mail Online in their article on July 4th, 2020 reads, "Chillingly, Dr. Greger believes the next pandemic linked to factory farming could have a 50% fatality rate, killing millions. He hopes COVID-19 is just the dry run we needed, with a fire drill to wake us up out of our complacency to reform the food system." In a book trailer for Dr. Greger's new release book, How to Survive a Pandemic, he states,
"With pandemics, it's always a matter of when, not if, and a universal outbreak with more than just a few percent mortality wouldn't just threaten financial markets, but civilization itself as we know it."
Many organizations are calling for the permanent closure of meat processing plants and an urgent and complete shift to a plant-based lifestyle. The European Commission, in its Farm to Fork strategy, stated, "Moving to a more plant-based diet with less red and processed meat and with more fruits and vegetables will reduce not only risks of life-threatening diseases, but also the environmental impact of the food system." The Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, or PCRM, representing 12,000 healthcare professionals in the USA, suggests even more strict measures, and recently filed a complaint with the Iowa Department of Public Health demanding that local slaughterhouses be shut down and replaced with plant protein factories. Likewise, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, UK Director Ms. Elisa Allen stated, "No one needs meat. That's why PETA is calling for these facilities to be shut down immediately, for everyone's protection. Factory farms kill over 70 billion animals a year, and it's coming back to bite us. We must take action to end our reliance on unsustainable animal agriculture and prevent future pandemics. It's time to end factory farming and go vegan." Supreme Master Ching Hai has reminded us that all pandemics and environmental disasters are the consequences from killing billions of innocent and helpless animal co-inhabitants, and recommends a global adoption of the vegan lifestyle.
Meat industry is responsible for all of this. So we have to stop the root cause of all this trouble, not by vaccine, but by virtue, by heavenly quality, which is inherent inside of us anyhow. We just take it out and use it. We are human, children of God. We don't go and harass a little chicken. We don't hook the fish and make him screaming in the air. We don't crowd the pigs and make them sick and suffering and then blame them for the sickness. We don't take a little shrimp and fry him alive and, oh, this is terrible. This is not a human behavior. We should not behave this way. And if we do, we cannot blame anything that happened to us, which is terrible. All we do is just turn around and live like a human, like a child of God. A child of God is all angelic, all loving, all kind, all protecting to the weak and the small. Child of God doesn't go around killing, murdering other defenseless creatures, doesn't go around destroying the planet and the world just for the sake of having a piece of meat, which can be replaced.
Our deepest gratitude to Supreme Master Ching Hai for expounding on how to stop future pandemics. We pray that all people soon adopt a noble, compassionate vegan lifestyle. Benevolent viewers, thank you for your company today. Coming up next is Love and Forgiveness Part 1 of 4 on Between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May you be blessed with excellent health and walk the way of benevolence, love, and peace.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/show.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/show.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/show.
我们的节目提供多种语言，请看 suprememastertv.com/schedule 和 suprememastertv.com/show。